Alright, lovely, lovely human beings and potential dogs who somehow stumbled onto this video. New week, new Odyssey. What have we got? Ooh, it's Gwen's time to shine, eh? She says fire can solve any problem. Let's put that to the test. Okay, good maps, good maps, good maps, good maps, good maps, good maps so far, good maps so far. Ooh, not terrible. I like it. Okay, Underground's not the worst map in the world. It's one of those maps I do occasionally die to, so I might... Well, that, you know, I can't always predict it, but oftentimes Dark Castle and Underground I do lose to, and then it's the type of thing where it's like I'm in the round 90s and I'm just like, fuck restarting. So I just hit continue. Infernal, I'm better at not losing on. It's, you know, one path at a time, one exit, very straightforward. I can focus on everything that's happening there. And the exit's not weird like in Dark Castle where you can't really tell because they've got to shrink down and go into the castle. You don't really know where the exit is officially, so it's hard to pause on time. Anyway, this is looking nice. So, what are the rules? ABR 3 to 50, Hard Standard 6 to 70, Spice Islands Hard Reverse 3 to 75, Underground Hard Standard 3 to 80, and Infernal Hard Standard 1 to 85. Do you guys remember the days where they threw us an expert map and they were just like, you know what, let's be nice, let's go 1 to 60 or like 1 to 40. I remember those days. Now they seem to be testing us a bit more, which is interesting. Anyway, what have we got? What are we bringing? Screw all of that. Okay, it's just Gwen. Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, yes as well. Oh, beautiful. Do I need more? I guess. Oh, that's not an upgrade path I desire, honestly. I think I'd much rather either of the other paths, honestly. Not a big Moab domination fan. Just to double check. Do we have a lot of Moab popping power? ABR. ABR's the only real worry, but it's on resort, so it doesn't matter. Right. We've got boats as well, so for the most part, can they be placed on every map? Not on Underground. Okay, so I'm gonna need a different solution for Underground. That's good to know. I mean, I do have the wizards, but I do need sharp popping power. Attack zone or something. Camo leads can be wizards. Camo purples. What will we get for that? I guess we bring mortars for that. I know Gwen's one of Gwen's abilities can pop purple balloons, and I think one of the other ones can pop camos, but I want consistency here, so I'm gonna choose to ignore the boomerang entirely, I think. Do we have enough Moab popping damage without the boomerang? I believe so, yeah. Alright, let's do it. Fook it. Let's go. Boop 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 doop 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 boom 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 ba-da-dum bum bum. I think I want the boat here. Actually no, let's go more central, so that the range buff gets a bit more. Doop doop doop. Anyway, oh, it's ABR. Shit. Potentially not the best of starts, but we don't have a way to get lives back, but honestly, if we get through this, we don't really need a way to get lives back. Can't afford that. Cool, cool, cool. We'll tank those then. It's much easier, I think, to tank those now, rather than try and sell and rebuy to accommodate for camos, and then sell and rebuy again to accommodate for leads, and then sell and rebuy maybe again for even camo leads. You know, I just feel like it's more appropriate for us to just go bang, camos sorted. And then instead of going for camo lead popping power straight away with this boat, we're gonna go ahead and buy Gwen next, because she will be cheaper than going grape shot into hot shot. And that's just a fact. How did we pop that yellow one that was all the way down here? Ooh, are we gonna let things through? Doesn't look like it. Maybe that one. Okay, they're just reds. That I am okay with. But yes, we do need lead popping capabilities over anything else, if we can help it. I mean, I guess I can just put down a bomb shooter. See, the problem is I just don't know when the leads show up. If they show up right at the end of the next round, that's fine. But if they show up at the start of it, that's not. Okay, should be fine. Should be somewhat. Oh, come on! What is that regrow rate? Probably normal, but still. That's some bullshit. Okay. We now spread joy. I lied. We only spread fire. Right, let's get grape shots so camo balloons are easier to kill. We will eventually get camo lead popping power with the next upgrade, but we won't need that till round 24, so we'll be fine. And yes, we have lost quite a few lives, but I suspect ABR is the only bitchaloid that we have to deal with throughout this whole Odyssey. Honestly, it may be on a nice map, but once again, we didn't really have a good selection of early game towers to choose from. Well, I mean, if you have monkey knowledge, then what? I've lost 19 lives? 19 lives out of your mana shield gone. Big whoop. Who cares? You know? Or if you have pre-game prep, probably a similar situation where you've still got 50 lives. Or if you have both, you're pretty happy at the moment. But yes, without monkey knowledge, still very much doable. I suspect the rest of the maps will be, like I said, kinder to us than this one in terms of game mode difficulty. So we should be all good. Speaking of all good, how was everybody's Christmas? If you celebrate it, did you get good presents? If you got good presents, what the fuck are they? I'm interested. Tell me. Because I bought myself a little present for Christmas. Well, it's interesting to say that I bought it myself because I sort of did, but I sort of didn't. Right. There was a present that I wanted for Christmas, right? And one of my sisters has been harassing me since like October about what I want for Christmas, or what I wanted. And I kept saying to her the same thing. I was just like, what's your price range? What's your price range? Not to be a dick, not to be an asshole, not to be like, what's your price range, huh? And then she'll be like, $100 is like max. And then I'd be like, haha, give me $100. No. I was asking what her price range was because what I wanted to get was rather expensive. And I didn't want to just be like, hey, can you get me this? And puts her in the position of being like, no. It's fucking pricey as shit. So I asked about the price range. And then she set the boundaries. And then I was like, right, that's fair. What if? And then I proposed to her the idea that if I were to pay for the rest of the cost of the item, would she be happy, you know, picking a number she deems appropriate and then paying that much? And she happily agreed. And so, her, along with my fiance, my partner, both put in money towards it, and I went out and bought it, admittedly, before Christmas. So I had full access to this before Christmas, and I still do have access to it because it's after Christmas. But yeah, so essentially what I got... Oh, why did I think I could get a taxone? That's dumb. Oh well, Ring of Fire will do. But yeah, what I bought was a new camera. I got myself a GoPro Hero 10. I don't know how great that is, to be honest. I'm terrible with specs and you know, computer statistics and shit. So I just got that one because it was fancy, and the 9 was on sale, but the 10 was only like $30 more or some shit. So went with the 10. And yeah, I'm hopefully going to be using that in some future videos, maybe even some streaming if I can figure out how that shit works. But yeah, that was my sort of main big present, partly to myself. But yeah, so now I've got a snazzy new camera. Hopefully everybody else has gotten something fairly nice. Or if you didn't, hopefully you had a good time. Because that's the main thing. It may be the season of giving, but if you're a little upset noodle because you didn't get exactly which PS5 game you wanted, then, well, that just makes everybody feel like they're having a shit time. And that's not a nice thing to put people in the position of, you know? So, as I've always been taught, it's the thought that counts. They didn't have to get you a present. Christmas is not a fucking legally binding ceremony introduced by the government. Nobody had to buy you a present. The fact that they did means they think about you and they care for you. Full stop. Even if they didn't buy you anything and they made you something, or creatively put effort into a project for you, or took the time out of their day just to come and say hi. Once again, not a legally binding requirement. It's the thought that counts. It's a very nice gesture. Appreciate it and enjoy it. That is essentially how I was raised in a nutshell, and why people at work, mainly the females, the males don't really give a shit. Why a lot of the lovely females that I work with will often comment on my manners and things like that, and I've heard several people, several of the lovely female colleagues that I work with, once again, say that my mother has raised me right, and I really like hearing that. Because first of all, I agree. My mum is amazing. She's taught me everything that makes me the man I am today, and whilst I've had my ups and downs like everybody, I'm glad most of mine were whilst I was going through like middle and high school, because obviously still developing maturity and my brain in general at those points in time. But yeah, my mum, as well as my whole family, but my mum's the main influence. Has pretty much made me into the man that I am today. So, thanks, Mum. I love my mum. My mum's the best. If you ever see my mum, not that you know what she looks like, tell her she's the best. And if you ever see your own mum, and you feel like you don't tell her enough, tell her that you love her. Tell her that she's the best. It'll make her day. It'll be a nice thing. Anyway, I don't know where that tangent came from, but nevertheless, it's in the video now. There's no escaping it. I'm going to use Gwen's ability to save us there. At least a couple of lives, you know? Would be nice to have an even amount of lives by the end of it. Good, good, good. Okay. Let me get this boat up and running. And then we can start thinking about tanking more balloons. Just kidding, we're not going to tank more balloons if we can help it. And crow's nest, I need some camo detection. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, I also got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because of course I did. Nah. My fiance was planning on getting me a little tripod stand for my phone. Phone? Ew. No, a little tripod stand for my new GoPro. And so that sadly was still being delivered whilst Christmas was at hand. So it will arrive later, but in the meantime, she got me a Yu-Gi-Oh structure deck, which I always appreciate. This one is Fire King structure deck, which I don't know if she's psychic or what, but this was actually a not the Fire King specifically, but the Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys? Something like that. Anyway, that was a card I was looking into making a deck around. And that happens to be one of the cards in this structure deck. So I might have just been handed a bunch of cards that could work really well though. But as far as I remember, it's essentially a phoenix, and so obviously, you know, the phoenix don't really die, they just kind of turn to ash, and then they get reborn in the ashes. I'm going purely off of Harry Potter logic here. Don't know anything about actual phoenix lore and mythology. But yeah, so essentially the way the Sacred Phoenix works in Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, this is purely from memory, but it's something to do with it being sent to the grave. So either if you send it to the grave, it destroys all spells and traps on the field, or maybe if it's resummoned from the grave, you destroy all spells and traps on the field. Either way, you destroy all spells and traps on the field with some effect by that Phoenix. Now, don't get me wrong, in today's meta-relevant decks, Sacred Phoenix, absolutely, probably not one of the meta-relevant decks. As tragic as it is to say, not up there, probably. I don't know, but considering there's a shit ton of hand traps and what do they call it? Quick effect traps and counter traps. Bullshit going on in Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. I get the feeling that if you tried to nuke the field with a single monster effect, your opponent would probably just discard a card from their hand and be like, oh, that's negated, and it's banished face down, and it's banished another time on top of that, and then shuffle it into your deck. By the way, if you draw it, you explode and take 8,000 life points damage. But yeah, so
I don't think it's very meta-relevant, but I don't care. It seems like a cool mechanic. And all the people that I play the card game with don't really have meta-relevant decks anyway, so big whoop, who cares? Right, is there anything we should be worried about here? Don't think so. I think we're all good. I'll get a Phoenix just in case, but 70 should be fine. It is interesting. Wait, does Hot Shots should still pop purples? Right? It should. As far as I'm aware. We'll make this one the Ring of Fire, because hopefully by that point in time the purples have been popped. If not, then I'm screwed. Oh, I get it. Is it like explosions plus fire damage? Odyssey? No, Mob Dom doesn't do either. I guess Moab Dom is the upgrade path that has flame and hot rangs. So things that can pop lead balloons. That, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. In fact, why are we even allowed this boat? I mean, explosives, yes, but flames? Oh, flame and hot, great. Maybe there is something to this. What about the bomb shooter? Top path is just bigger explosion. There's no burning involved. Middle path is big Moab destroying explosion. Bottom path is many, many small explosions that add up to a big explosion. Some may even say the smaller explosions are better than a big explosion. So yeah, I don't know why we're allowed the bomb shooter. Maybe it's just early on lead popping path that they're graciously giving us. Do I have to be worried about 63? Probably not. Even if I should be worried about 63, I can just place another Phoenix and then 2 abilities for the first wave, 2 Phoenix abilities for the next waves. So I'm not really all that worried, if I'm honest. Could get a Pirate Lord for no particular reason. Well, it's not for no particular reason. I could get a Pirate Lord to put it in the thumbnail. That is something that I can do. Alright, let's just see how we go. No abilities. How do we do? Wow. Okay. Calm down, you flaming hot towers of death. Jeez, alright. Good time for that heated up buff, Gwen. Alright, I guess we will go for the Pirate Lord then. I thought for some reason I'd be much more scared of 63, but I guess with Gwen on our side, we are unstoppable. Which is great. Love that. Who doesn't love being unstoppable? Oh. I can probably get that now. Why not, right? It's not like we'll be coming up against a bunch of purples that'll get past my Pirate Lord anyway. All should be well. Okay. Just waiting to see if any, there's the BFBs. Just waiting to see if any of those show up so I can hook them. Turns out it was just one of them. Oh well. Good enough for me. Last round. up nicely, everybody. We'll have to wait 360 or so days until we can give it back to the Odyssey creator, but part 1 has been wrapped up very nicely. Okay, so Gwen's Time to Shine part 2, featuring those 3 maps, as always, will come out tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. Did I not talk about work all day? Or all recording? I don't think I did, you know. That's a first. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Anyway, it was a shit show, as always. Anyway, like I said, part 2 coming out tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.